find out someone else was after me, it'll kill me. I thought I was the only one.
You've taken a very brave step, and we applaud you especially for having the courage to come out and be among people who can support you. It's a very tough first step, and we welcome you and we applaud you for doing that, and we applaud you for being here tonight.
Can you believe it? Oh. How are you? Oh, so good to see you.
Shorter than I remember.
Oh, just a little bit smaller.
I've been shitting my pants about meeting you.
It's like a gateway
So
to the
have you
past that we all
not, y'all
buried.
have not seen each other either?
I've had his number for months, and I every day go, you should call him. You should call him. And I said, I don't know.
What to say, how to start.
Well, yeah, it's like not a conversation you really want to do, because then you have to deal with it when you talk to that person. So it's not a conversation you want to exactly have, but you know what? It's a good thing.
I feel very responsible
Why?
because, as I felt all along for 20 years, my biggest fear was if I would have spoken up, somebody else wouldn't have gone through or feel what I feel. And I asked myself 1,000 times, why?
Do you think that it has the potential to cause serious long-range harm to a child if someone in a position of authority, such as a priest, puts their penis in the mouth of that child?
Yes.
Has the potential to cause serious harm, doesn't it?
No.
Doesn't?
No.
Doesn't have the potential to cause serious,
He's answered the question.
serious harm to the child?
Lack of foundation. What are you talking about, serious harm?
Serious permanent harm to that child.
No, I think, no.
On what grounds do you say it does not?
I wouldn't go with medical. I just say every person's different.
Okay? So some children wouldn't bother, others it would.
I would think so.
Okay?
When you go out there, your parents told you, you listen to him, you do what he tells you to do. So when he's out there and said, you sleep in this room, you sleep in this room, you're over in this room. You and you are in this room with me.
No one ever asked, hey, do you sleep in the same bed with them? They, assumed you were at the cottage.
And there were times that I would run. I mean, I would try to hide. I would try to find people to be around so I could avoid going to Father All's garage or the doctor's house or his garage or wherever he would tell me to go. I mean, I would just try to hide, but I knew that he would find me. He was very clever.
In the same vein, when I was getting abused, when I say I laid there, stiff as a board, pardon the pun.
Right.
Just in agony, because I could not mentally control a natural, physical, biological reaction. And I was going, Jesus Christ, I've actually achieved an orgasm, as unfun as it was.
Right.
And it was with a man. I must be queer. Holy shit, what am I gonna do? Man, I had to get as many girls as I could possibly find in order to prove it wrong.
Well, it ruined for me, well, I mean, for any lack of better term, of any sex I had with any men for several years after that, because the only way I could have a relationship with someone was to have sex with them. I mean, that was what I thought would make them like me, which I know sounds really warped. I mean, I don't have to tell you that, but yeah.
See, with me, the first girl that I was with that wanted to become intimate with me, I just looked at her and said, why the hell do you want to have sex with me? She's like, well, we're dating, and it's a nice way to share of ourselves. And I looked at her and said, well, who says I wanted to share anything with you? And it took a while for me to realize that there were girls who similar abuse that I did, and to them that's the only way of offering what they think is special about them to you.
So tell me something. If they were to come to us right now and say, here is such and such of a settlement, and that's it. No ties to it.
Fuck off.
You'd really say fuck off?
Fuck
Okay.
off. Somebody's admitting they're wrong, and it's going to be the highest fucking possible person.
But coming to a settlement, you don't think that's admitting they're wrong already?
No, because if I take a settlement outside of the courts, they, one, publicly aren't admitting anything. And I want Dennis to admit that he did this. I want the church to admit that they covered it up.
Yep.
I want the church to admit to all the other cover-ups that they have. And I'll walk away without a dime.
And I
Really?
want
You pay my legal
I
fees
want
that I'm
assurances
required,
that
and I'm done.
there's measures in place.
Yeah.
This type of shit doesn't happen anymore.
For me, I think I would definitely entertain the settlement, but I
You
mean,
just can't tell me that, you were given a settlement, like you, Tony and Matt, were given a group settlement of $20 million.
So you should be happy now.
And you should be happy now, and it's
Right,
over. What do you think? It's finally over. It's like, if you fucking think it's over, why don't you come over to my house, and every night I wake up sweating my ass off because I had a nightmare because I have fuckers' faces in my head. I'll tap you on the forehead and say, it's on, come on, wake up. You get to go with me for another 2 hours while I go walking this off.
So there's a priest doing confession. He's sitting in the confessional, and all of a sudden he's got to take a shit. And he sees Dave the janitor walking by. He says, Dave, get in here. So I need you to do me a favor. I got to take a shit. Just do the confession. All the sins are here. All the punishment, just follow the chart. Everything's there. Lady comes in, confesses to adultery, performing oral sex on somebody other than her husband. Dave can't find oral sex on the board anywhere. Sees one of the altar boys walking by. He goes, Tommy, psst. Dave, what are you doing in there? He says, hey, I don't have time for idle chatter. What's Father usually give for inappropriate oral sex? He goes, I don't know, ice cream in a movie?
Okay, you've watched Big Time Wrestling, right?
yes.
And being a non-athlete, you'll still be able to get it.
Okay.
What's that move?
Called? It's a half Nelson.
Okay.
What's this move called?
It's full Nelson.
Full Nelson.
Okay.
What's this move called? Father Nelson.
Father Nelson. Have you heard that one, Matt?
Thank you for everything.
Oh, buddy. I can't tell you.
Incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. I would have never recognized you. Never. Matt is easily recognizable. You know what? I'm probably a lot better than I thought I would have been.
Me too.
So the diocese has filed the motion to dismiss. They're saying basically, even if you have a good case, you brought it way too late because the statute of limitations restricts your right to file unless you do it within a certain number of years.
Right.
So at this stage of the game, they're going to take advantage of every single delay. And that can turn a 2-year lawsuit into an 8-year lawsuit.
What they're doing is sinning. I can fit it in I don't know how many different commandments.
Well, I think if they were truly concerned about helping the victims, they would say, let's focus on what really happened and look at the merits and what we should be doing. But they're not inclined to do that. Now, the next thing is something called canon law, which is the book of rules that the Catholic Church lives by. Under canon law, priests are authorized to lie if it is in the interest of the church in order to protect the church for scandals. It's called mental reservation. I don't know if you've heard of this term. Strict mental reservation means that you can not answer a question, you can lie in your answer in order to protect the interests of the church. And I think that's probably something that most people don't realize.
And there's a gajillion things going through my head right now. My daughter's having fucking first communion in 15 days. If it wasn't going to be hard to say, welcome aboard, before, I don't even want to go. I don't want her to go. But
It's just
I'm putting her into a group